Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1977 National League playthrough, picking one game a day. And today we're on April the 12th, 1977. It's the San Diego Padres taking on the San Francisco Giants. First time to put the Giants on the channel in this replay. So I'm trying to fit every team in there at least once before I start, delving off into better matchups. So I want to at least make sure every team gets on there at least once. I know San Diego's already been on there once, but the Giants were needed. They're the last team to be shown. So now the Giants are here. Everybody's going to be here. Everybody's going to get shown at least one time, and that is now the case. Next game will be in Houston. It'll be Cincinnati at Houston. That'll be the April 13th date. Hello, Ben. Good to see you. Actually, I wasn't going to stream tonight. I was really kind of interested in watching the hockey game between Florida and Toronto, but Toronto decided to not show up here in the second quarter. So it's 3-0 already in the second quarter. And I was like, forget this. So I know RJL is loving it. So it's his birthday present. So we'll let RJL have his fun with his birthday present as his Florida Panthers are about to go into the Eastern Conference Finals against Carolina. Hello, Brian B. Good to see you. There you see the lineup boards, Brian B., for the benches and bullpens, so that should make you happy. Hello, Marlon. Yeah, let's see. It's Edmonton, I think, is going to be the only Canadian team still remaining after this. So, hello, Chuck. So if Dallas beats Edmonton, then there will be no Canadian teams in the Stanley Cup Finals, which will be interesting. I'm kind of hoping for a Dallas, Florida myself. Not really a Carolina fan. Not really a Florida fan. Oh, Winnipeg. Oh, Edmonton's in there too, are they not? Winnipeg got beat by Dallas. Winnipeg got eliminated by Dallas last night. So it's actually Edmonton and Dallas in the finals of the Western Conference, if memory serves me correctly. I'm not a hockey buff or aficionado, so I could be off on that. Let's see. I was wanting to get a little closer to the cards, but if I do that, I lose some peripherals. I'll try to get a little bit closer, but I don't want to lose too much of the. Maybe I'll put it like that. Maybe that's the best way to do it. Yep, you got it. All right, so here we go. San Diego Stadium, Lynn McGlothen, Randy Jones. So Randy Jones finishing up the warm-up tosses. There's a starting lineup for the Giants. Herndon, Andrews, Madlock, Clark, McCovey, Elliott, Spire, Sadek, and McGlothen. Now, Spire will be in his Montreal Expo uniform because that trade has not happened yet between Tim Foley and Chris Spire, where they swap teams. So that has not happened yet. But once they do, then the players will be in their right uniforms. All right, we're underway. Randy Jones, 1-1 is a blank. Go to Herndon. 3-4 for Herndon, and that is a fly ball to right field. Winfield will put that away, one down, and we're underway. Here's Rob Andrews, second baseman. It's a 3-1, and that's at the ballpark. San Diego Stadium was not called Jack Murphy yet in 77, apparently. That's a 3-1 again. Star 2. It's a ground ball to third, and Rader will make that play. 2 up and 2 down for the Mad Dog, Bill Madlock. 4-6, and that's a blank. Go to Madlock. 5-2, star 1. That is a ground ball to Rader again. So a 3 up and 3 down inning for the Giants. They come away with nothing. And we go to the bottom of the first. It is San Francisco nothing, and the Padres coming to bat, rather. If you remember the Giants from the 70s, their road uniforms, they did wear the orange tops with the white pants. They did not have a gray uniform. They wore orange tops at home. Oh, on the road, white tops at home. Hello, Ernest. Good to see you. So leading things off will be Gene Richards. So for the Padres, pretty much the same lineup they had the last time they played. Richards, Champion, Winfield, Hendrick, Tennis, Ivy, Rader, Allman, and Randy Jones. So McGlothen, 2-1 ballpark card going to San Diego Stadium with a bat of Gene Richards. 6-5, and that's a ground ball to second. Andrews will take it, one away. For Mike Champion. I realize this is not a glamour matchup, but it's on the calendar. And we haven't done the Giants yet. 5-1, and that is going to be a straight-up single against a right-handed hitter. So Mike Champion, one-out single for Champion. And Champion's attempt is a 2, but he cannot get the lead. McGlothen doesn't have to worry about any balks or pickoffs, just the lead for the players. Here's Winfield. 6-4, and that's a strikeout chance to a right-hander. He strikes out at a 7. Stadium adds one, makes it an 8, but that's a 4, so Winfield is out on strikes. Out number 2. For George Hendrick, I don't need a strategy roll because he doesn't have his balks and pickoffs. All right, 2-6, and that's a blank to the right-hander Hendrick. Hendrick 1-1, ground ball to third. Madlock will take care of it, and the Padres are quickly disposed of in the first. So after one complete, no score from San Diego Stadium, soon to be known as Jack Murphy. Jack Clark, speaking of Jacks, will be stepping up to the plate for the Giants. 2-3, and 2-3 is a blank, so we're going to go to Jack Clark. 2-1, that's a fly to center field. Clark is retired. For stretch, Willie McCovey, still hanging around. 3-5, and that is going to be a hit by pitch chance. He's a 0 -10, so no hit by pitch. Covey will swing it 3-4, and he's going to hit a single to first base. Ivy got to it, but couldn't do anything with it, and McCovey is safe on the base hit. McCovey has no attempt to steal, but we will roll for possible pickoffs, checking for a 20. And we don't get one, so now Randy Elliott, platoon player in the outfield with Terry Whitfield in left field. He crushes lefty pitching, which is why he plays when lefties are playing and Terry Whitfield plays when righties are starting. The strict platoon that they had in 77. 4-4, and that is a walk chance to a right-hander. He walks at a 3. Stadium adds one for a 4, but that's a 17, so Elliott will swing it. 6-2 is a star 1. Ground ball to third, possible double play. He's a 3. Nothing for Jones. Halfway is a 4. Champion, the pivot's a 0. 1-4, we got a double play. And we do. 5-4-3 around the horn takes care of the Giants in the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Oops, hit the little tray there. Hit no score at the bottom at the end of 1.5 as we go to the bottom of the second. Try to clear my throat here. Tabby is downstairs in the bedroom, which is another reason why I was late coming up here, because she wanted me to sit down there all night. And I was going to. If the hockey game had been closer, I was going to sit there and watch that. But hello, Jason. Good to see you. But when it got to be 3-0 real quick, I said, forget this. I know RJL is loving it. Let him have his fun. All right, 1-4. McGlothen, range play at the park, going to San Diego Stadium. 2-6, that's a ground ball to short. The range of the shortstop Spire is a 3. 1-3, and Spire will make this play. He does not. Base hit for Gene Tennis on the failed range play. Tennis's attempt is a 2. Cannot get the lead. Mike Ivy got a bunt sign, but he's certainly not going to bunt. McGlothen 5-3, that's a blank. We go to Mike Ivy. 5-4, that's a single to left field. Tennis only runs at a 2. Single go from first to third, you lose 2, makes him a 0. Left fielder Elliott's a 0, so he has no opportunity to move up at all. He can't even risk it. He has to hold at second base. So first and second, nobody out for Doug Rader doing his, hello, Captain Carl, doing his Toronto Blue Jay imitation. He will get traded to the Blue Jays later. No strategy roll needed because there's no balks or anything there. 2-2, and that's a blank, so we go to Rader. 1-6, that's a star 6, and that's a fly to right field. One away. Jack Clark in right field is a -2 arm, so I don't think Tennis is going to try it. You lose one, which makes him a 1, then the -2 is a -1, so he cannot move up. He has to stay stationary. So there's one away for Billy Allman. McGlothen to Allman, 4-3, and that's a possible error on a ground ball. 1-5, but that's going to be a fly to center field. No ground ball to worry about. Fly to center, out number 2. And that'll send up Randy Jones. 5-4, and that's going to be, he does bat right-handed, so it is a strikeout opportunity. And of course, he will strike out to end the inning. So 2 runners on early, but Padres can't do anything with it. We go to the third, no score. Randy Jones back out, and he'll be facing Spire, Sadek, and McGlothen. I think it's pronounced Sadek or Sadek. I'm assuming it's Sadek, like Pat Sajak. I'm assuming it's Pat Sadek or Mike Sadek. That's how I've always called him. If you know for sure it's pronounced otherwise, please let me know. But Mike Sadek is how I've always pronounced it. All right, here's Chris Spire in his Montreal garb. Of course, the trade hasn't happened yet. So Mike Sadek. Jones, 3-1 ballpark going to San Diego Stadium. 6-4, it's a ground ball to third, and Raider is on top of that, one away. And here's the aforementioned Mike Sadek. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate that confirmation. 6-4, possible error. 1-2, liner to second. That's a 6. Champion's a 7, but I don't know if you can have an error on a line drive. I don't think that's allowed on the chart. Failed error. There are no errors on line drives, so it's a liner to second. Good thing, because it would have been an error otherwise. But there's no place for that on the chart. When you look at the chart under error check, the line drives are all blank. So there are no errors on line drives. Here is Lynn McGlothen. I don't know if Billy Champion ever faced Mike Champion. I doubt they ever crossed paths, but you never, because they're in different leagues. But you never know. Here's the pitcher, McGlothen, 105 hitter, so it's pretty average for a pitcher. 1-1 is a blank, so McGlothen's going to have to do it himself. 6-3, and he does. He doubles the center field. How do you like that? Lynn McGlothen, a 2-out double. 6-3 is a D8 right there. Wow. So that'll bring up Herndon now with 2 outs, and that's a 20. So a balk 1-4, pickoff 5-16, errors a 17. So McGlothen could get picked off here. It's a 19, so he gets back safely. Wow, that would have been embarrassing. He was all proud of his double, and then to go get picked off would have been a buzzkill for sure. 4-3, and that is blank, so we go to Herndon. 6-3, it's a power result to center field. Goes up to 10, but that's a 19, so it's just going to be a deep fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So the double by the pitcher goes for naught. And Lynn McGlothen back out. Will be facing the top of the order, Richards, Champion, and Winfield. Here in the bottom of the third, no score from San Diego Stadium. 1-6, Wild. That means it's going to be a blank. We're going to treat it as a blank and roll in the batter card, not on the pitcher card again. 2-3, and that's going to be a single pass short. He hits righties very well. So the righty-lefty split comes into play right here, and single by Gene Richards. Richards' attempt is a 9. 11, he cannot get the lead. So it'll bring up Champion. Champion's a good bunter with a 5. So I think he got the bunt sign, so he's going to bunt. He will bunt, but first McGlothlen's going to pitch it and check for strikeouts. 6-3. It's a ballpark card. We're going to ignore that and go straight to the bunt. So we go to our bunt chart. See who fields the bunt. It's a 5, so that is fielded by this third baseman, and that is Madlock. And now we'll see what kind of bunt he has. Champion is now a 4 bunter with the corners in. So he basically needs a 1 to 14 to have a good bunt. 12 he does. So on the chart, a 4 bunter, 1 to 14 is a good bunt. And that's a 12. So good bunt. Sacrifice hit 5 to 4 as Andrews was covering first base as McCovey was charging. So sacrifice bunt. Actually, I messed that up when I scored it. Good thing I got my correction tape here. I butchered that one, didn't I? Who do I think I am? The Toronto Maple Leafs? Come on. Ridiculous. Sacrifice hit 5 to 4. He singled and went to second on the second batter. So he's at second base with 1 out. Good bunt by Champion. Playing the small ball. And here's Winfield. 6-2. That's a strikeout chance, and that's a 1. Winfield down on strikes for the second time. Third strikeout for McGlothen, but he's gotten Winfield twice. So now a clutch situation for George Hendrick. 2-2 blank. We go to Hendrick. 5-4, and that's a double to left field against McGlothen. RBI double for George Hendrick. RBI double puts the Padres in the lead 1-0. George Hendrick with a critical 2-out double. Look at it again, 5-4, split chance, F/D7. So the D7's against the right-handed pitcher, and he gets the double. So a double for Hendrick gives the Padres a 1-0 lead. Here's tennis. 2-2 is a blank also. 2-3, star 4, ground ball to third. It's going to end the inning. But the Padres break through with a run. RBI double from George Hendrick. At the end of 3, it's San Diego 1, San Francisco 0. Due up for the Giants, Andrews, Madlock, and Clark, your scheduled hitters. (6-4) on Jones is a possible error. That's a 1-4 fly to right field, but that's a 19. Winfield's error rating is only a 6. So Winfield will make that no problem. 1 down for the Madlock. 3-4, and that's a pitcher result in those double question marks. Right-hander's an out on a 1, but that's a 9, so treat is a blank. The Madlock, 2-5, and that's a star 2, ground ball to third. So Jones has that ground ball working to the right-handers as third baseman Doug Rader now has had 5 assists already in 4 innings. Actually, yeah, 5 assists, 2 here, and 1 here on the double play. So he's had 5 assists already. That brings up Jack Clark. Tells you the ground ball is working. 1-6 blank. Clark 4-4, and that's a ground ball to short this time, which once again proves the ground ball is working because you have another ground out. So 3 up and 3 down go the Giants. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-0. Due up for the Pods. It'll be Mike Ivy, Rader, and Allman against Mr. McGlothen. Can only face 22 batters before he tires. Right now, he has faced 14, so a couple more innings, he might hit that fatigue mark. 2-4 is a range play. We go to Ivy for the range check. 4-1, fly to left. We're checking the range of the left fielder. That is Elliott. He's a 2. 1-2, he makes the catch. He does not. Is it a single or a double? It's a single for Mike Ivy on a failed range play. So Ivy's 2 for 2. Tempt is a 2. Can't go anywhere. Brings up Doug Rader. 2-5. That's another possible error check. That is a 4-3. That's a star 2, which is a ground ball to short. Spire's error rating is only an 8. That's a 14, so there is no error. Now we check for double play, and he's a good candidate for that with a 4. Infield is halfway, makes it a 5. The pivot at second, Andrews, is a 0. So anything other than a 6, we got a double play. And we do. So it's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. 2 quick outs. And Billy Allman, the batter. Hello, Ron. Good to see you. Hello, Tascuni, if I didn't say hello to you earlier. Hello, Dan, Mr. Douglas. How are you? Hello, Mr. Chris. 5-6. That's a potential home run. It's a home run question mark. Goes to 1-14. That passes. But Allman needs a 2. That's the only way he gets a home run. 1-2. And it's 20. So he's not going to get a home run, but he will get to swing it. 1-3. Star 2 is a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. So we played 4 at San Diego Stadium, and the score is still San Diego 1 and the Giants nothing. Randy Jones back out. Will face McCovey, Elliott, and Spire here in the top of the 5th. (3-6), and that is a strikeout chance to McCovey, the lefty. He strikes out at a 14. Stadium adds one for a 15. That fits. And that is a rare strikeout for Randy Jones. That's his first strikeout of the game. He only struck out 44 in 147 innings, so he just does not strike out a lot of people. Here's Elliott. 4-5, and that's a range play. So we go to Elliott and find out who the range is on. 5-3, that is a fly to center. So we're looking at the range of George Hendrick. His range is a 4. 1-4, he'll make this play. He does not. Is it a single or a double? It's a double for Randy Elliott. How about that? A failed range play produces a double for Randy Elliott. Hendrick, as was mentioned. Hello, Coach Larry. Good to see you. Hendrick, as was mentioned earlier, I'm trying to read up on the chat about Hendrick. I think Dan said something about Hendrick. Jogging George Hendrick jogged instead of ran for that ball, and he didn't get it, and that's why it fell for a double. All right, here's Chris Spire. Nothing on the strategy. Jones, 3-5, and that's a hit-by-pitch chance, but he's a -10, so that kind of kills all the hit-by-pitches. Here's Chris Spire. 4-4. Ground ball back to the mound for out number 2. Now, can Elliott move up on a ground ball to the pitcher? We roll a D6. If the roll is higher than the base runner, the runner has to hold. If not, he can advance. So the running speed here is a 2. So if we roll a 3 or higher, he has to hold. If it's a 1 or a 2, he can take third base. And he's got to hold at second base. So he holds there. Mike Sadek, the batter. Pitcher is on deck, and this is one of these little quandaries where you really have to think for a bit in the National League, not so in the American League. You got the number 8 hitter up. First base is open. You got the option. You can intentionally walk him and face the pitcher, although McGlothen did double his last time up. Or you can take a chance, get Sadek out, and make the pitcher lead off the next inning. I like option B primarily, particularly if you've got a weak number. If he's hitting number 8, he's usually a pretty weak hitter anyway. So, in my opinion, you go after him and make the pitcher lead off the next inning. 2-4, and he might walk him unintentionally anyway. That's a walk chance. 8, he did walk him unintentionally. So it was not intentional, but he did walk him. First walk issued by Randy Jones. He doesn't walk many guys either. He only walked 26 in 147 innings. But he found the 2-4. It's one of the only spots on his card that has a walk. A few others there, but not many. And now here's McGlothen. Correct. Yes, he does introduce a lot of ground balls. You can see there by the star line. Everything's a G. So here's McGlothen. 1-1 blank. We go to McGlothen. He did double his last time up. 3-2. This is a power result. Goes to 11, but that's an 18, so it's going to just be a fly to center. But McGlothen got into one, put a scare into Randy Jones, but Jones gets through unscathed. So we go to the bottom of the fifth. Still 1-0. This is batter number 18 coming up for San Diego. McGlothen can face 22 before he tires, so they'll probably want him at least to pitch this inning. If he's pitching effectively, they'll probably pitch him to the 6th, because even though he hits the 22, you can still go with him and just take a chance he doesn't hit one of those parentheses. 4-6 is a blank. We go to Randy Jones. 4-6 again. That's a single to center field by Randy Jones on the 4-6. The dreaded double roll. How about that? His attempt is a 3. Did he really try to steal bases? He must have if he's got an attempt of 3. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense here. Really turns to an attempt of 4, but I'm not, even if I got the jump, I'm not going to do it, so I'm not even going to roll for it. Larry, I'm not sure if he was the personal catcher or not. I'm not familiar with the Giants enough to know. But it wouldn't surprise me if he was. Here's Richards, 4-5, and that's a strikeout to a righty but blank to a lefty. Richards, 3-6. It's a ground ball to first, possible double play. His double play rating's a 2. You don't get the infield in because the first baseman, they don't count that, so you don't get the bonus there. The pivot at short, Spire is a -1, so the only way they turn a double play is on a 1. They do not. It's actually runner advance, so it's first base unassisted, and Randy Jones will take second base. So McCovey was going to try to turn the double play, kind of bobbled it a bit, and then realized better to get the shore out, which is what he did. Smart move there. So it kind of acted like a sacrifice, although Richards will be charged and at bat. But he does get a runner in scoring position, albeit a slower running pitcher. So Jones is at second base. Thank you for that, Captain. Yeah, I'm not going to try to send him. I don't know what he was trying to do in real world, trying to steal, but I'm not going to do it here. All right, so Champion is your batter. McGlothen, 5-5, and that's in the parentheses, but this is batter number 20. He gets to go 22, so he's not tired. That's a pitcher result. 1-14 is a single. That's an 18. It's going to be a blank. Champion will swing it. 1-3, ground ball to short. And Jones is going to probably hold there. Yes, he will. He'll hold at second base. So 2 down. Clutch situation now for Mr. Winfield. He is 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. 4-6 is a blank, so Winfield at least won't strike out this time. 3-6, he will not. He will single past third base, but it will not score the run. Randy Jones has to stop at third base. He does not have the speed to score. On an S5, you got to have a speed of 5 or better. Jones is a 2. With 2 outs becomes a 3, but that's still too short. So first and third, 2 down. Now let's check Winfield as far as attempts. His attempt is a 4. Not going to go anywhere. So here's Hendrick. He had the RBI double in a clutch situation in the third inning. He gets to try to do it again. 2-1 ballpark card going to Jack Murphy, or San Diego Stadium, I guess technically it's called. Wasn't Jack Murphy yet. 6-1's a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So McGlothen now has faced his complement of 22 batters. So he's going to be tired going into the 6th. He just finished batting last, so he's 9 batters away from having to worry about pinch hitting for him, but we'll keep an eye on his fatigue, and the bullpen will start to stir for the Giants. And looking at the Giant bullpen, looks like, boy, who do they want to use? I'm not sure how this guy's name's pronounced, but Terry Cornut. Terry Cornut. It makes me think of corn nuts, but Terry Cornut is loosely in the bullpen. All right, here is Jones to Herndon. 2-5 is a blank. Herndon, 6-1 single. Rader knocked it down, but had no play, and Herndon is aboard. He's got an attempt of 4. Cannot get a lead. Here's Rob. All right, I think we're back online now, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like we are. Good old, we have returned, yes. Good old Xfinity Comcast, what I call it, the box downstairs. My first problem, I was thinking it was my laptop that was causing the problem. And I was thinking my laptop was not getting the signal the way it should have been, which it was, but it wasn't the laptop's fault. It was the box downstairs had gone. The light is supposed to be solid white. It had turned red. So I went through a series of resetting it, then finally unplugging it and waiting for it to reboot. And now I think it's finally back. So apologize for that snafu. I don't even know where I left off, to be honest with you. The last thing I did before I thought I saw any problems was I did a sacrifice bunt from Rob Andrews where he bunted Herndon to second. I think that's the last thing I did. So I'm going to pick it up from there. And Bill Madlock is at the plate with 1 out. It's still a 1-0 game in the 6th. One out. Herndon at second. Strategy roll for Randy Jones. Nothing going on. So Jones to Madlock. 2-3, and that's a blank. We go to Madlock. 5-6. That's a single past third base. Herndon will have to stop at third, though. He does not have the speed to score. So, yeah, my internet is – hello, Colin. My internet is right on par with the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. So, hopefully now it is good to go. We shall see. I don't know. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, I guess. Jack Clark is your batter. Infield is playing for the double play. Randy Jones can induce those ground balls. Jack Clark has a 3 double play rating, which is a pretty good number to have if you're the defense. You want that batter to have at least a 3. So we'll see what happens here. Jones, 6-1 blank. And here's the pitch to Clark. 5-3. It's a ground ball to short. They got the ground ball they needed. The question is, will it be a double play? He's a 3. Halfway is a 4. The second base pivot is champion. He's a 0. So 1-4, and they get out of the inning with the double play. And they do. So right on cue. It's not fixed, folks. It just happened that way. 6-4-3 double play. You saw it right there. There was no fixing that. But Randy Jones, with his ground ball propensity, gets Jack Clark to hit into the twin killing. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Padres. McGlothen is tired. He has faced 22. He is actually fatigued, but they're going to try to sneak an inning out of it. Terry Cornut is loosening in the bullpen for the Giants, just in case. Now, if we hit one of these parentheses rolls, that will mean exhaustion. He will have to come out of the game. So here's the pitch to Tennis. 6-2 strikeout chance. 7 got him. So strikeout there for McGlothen, his 4th. And that brings up Mike Ivy. 4-6, and that's a blank. Here comes Ivy. 2-3, and that's a single pass short for Mike Ivy. He is 3 for 3 on the game. His attempt is a 2. That is a 2. Do they want to try to send him? He's a 12, but he's a -2 for a 10. Sadek's a -1's a 9, so they will call off the steal. And here's Doug Rader. 5-5, and that he's going to have to come out now because he just hit the fatigue roll. 1 to 14 is a single. That is a 14. It's a base hit. That's going to be it for McGlothen. He has to come out now due to fatigue. And on the S1, runner on first to get to third needs a 4 or better. Ivy's only a 3, so he has to stop at second base. But that's going to be it for McGlothen. His day is now done. McGlothen is done. And we will get a new pitcher, Mr. Terry Cornut. Terry Cornut will be your pitcher. That will be coming on. Get the numbers on McGlothen. He's going to go 5 1/3. Can't do the runs yet because these two are his responsibility. Hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits. He has struck out 4 and walked no one. I don't see any walks, so no walks, 4 strikeouts. So far, 1 run, but these two are his responsibility. Doug Rader is going to be the batter, and Terry Cornut is going to be the pitcher for the Giants. Try to get out of the mess, if at all possible. And he'll be facing Mr. Rader. What in the world is this thing coming up on my screen? I have no idea what this is saying. I think the stream is still going through. I'm getting a weird, hello, Tim. I'm getting a weird error message here. It says more than one ingestion is using the primary URL. Send one stream to the primary ingestion URL and one stream to the backup. I don't even know what the hell that is because I had to reboot because, it's a reboot. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm going to keep going and hope it doesn't crash. So we're still here. All right, so Cornut is the new pitcher as McGlothen hit fatigue and found that parentheses roll, so he has to come out. No choice. And Rader, Cornut and Rader. Cornut does have a pickoff attempt if he gets a 20. No pickoff. So Rader is a good double play candidate, though. He's a 4, although Cornut is a -1. That's a 6-4. It's a walk plus. That's not a good way to set up a double play. He's going to walk Rader. No, I'm sorry, Rader get to hit the single. My bad. It's actually Almond that he's walking. And he does walk Almond. That plus is going to give him the walk. So Almond will walk. It will load the bases with 1 out and Randy Jones, the batter. Now the infield is going to come in. Infield has to come in at this point. They have no choice. Cornut to Jones. Needs a strikeout really big. In a big way. 5-1. Wild pitch. And he's going to uncork a wild pitch, and that's going to bring a run home. So Cornut, obviously not the answer. It also takes the double play out of the equation. Scoring is Ivy. It's now 2-0. And Randy Jones is still your batter with the infield in. (6-2). That's an automatic out on Randy Jones as he is a righty hitter. And the automatic out is a fly to right. He has 0 sacrifice fly chance. Jack Clark's a -2. Rader is a 2, so he can't go anywhere. So it's just a fly to right for out number 2. So now he has to get Gene Richards out of here. But Cornut will not be facing Richards. With the lefty coming on, and Richards hits lefties very well, they will go to the bullpen. And they will bring in, to get out of the jam, they will bring in Gary Lavelle. I know he's their closer, but if you don't get out of this inning, the game's gonna be over. So you gotta think outside the box sometimes, and go that route. So Cornett. I'm thinking of wrestling and Jim Cornette. I don't have a tennis racket though. Third of an inning a walk, no hits, walk, no strikeouts. He is responsible for this runner. If Allman scores, he will be charged with a run. So 2 outs, 2 on, 1 in, and Gene Richards is your batter. Yeah, Tim, that's why I wasn't going to stream it all, but then when I started watching the second period and Florida put 3 goals in about the source of 5 minutes, I said, forget this. This is over. Happy birthday to RJL. I know he's excited. Should be a heck of a series between them and Carolina, that's for sure. 2 good defensive teams. All right, so Lavelle, strategy roll. Make sure there's no pickoffs. There was not. Lavelle, 5-6 strikeout chance, 13 too high. He's a 11 plus 1's a 12, 13 too high. Richards is your batter, 1-1 fly to center to end the inning. So just the 1 run, so the Giants remain in the game. That run is charged to McGlothen, so he ends up giving up 2 runs, both earned, in 5 1/3 innings. So Lavelle does the job. We go to the top of the 7th. No, you won't, Brian, you won't. But a lot of times the save or the most important at-bat of a game is not in the 8th or 9th inning. It's in situations like this, the 6th inning can be just as critical to keep his team in the game. If you give up 3 or 4 runs, then Lavelle's never going to be a factor, so you might as well use him. All right. Leading off is Willie McCovey. 3-5, and that's a hit by pitch chance. But again, -10 is going to kill that. Here's McCovey. Old stretch, 5-3. That's a star 2, ground ball to third. Yet another ground ball induced by Randy Jones. Here's Randy Elliott. Randy against Randy. 6-1's a blank. Jones has a lot of blanks on his card. Here's Elliott, 5-6, ground ball to first. Ivy will take it to the bag himself, 2 down. Jones can face 25 batters. This is batter 25. This is the last batter before he tires. 4-5, and that's a range play for Chris Spire in his Montreal garb till he gets traded. 1-2, ground ball to third. It's a range play for Rader. Rader is a 4. So 1-4, and Rader will make this play. He does not. Base hit. How about that? Base hit. Base hit for Spire. Now I'm trying to remember. I'm playing three different games now, so they all get a little fuzzy once in a while. But I'm trying to remember, and RJL shows up just in the perfect time, RJL. You can coach me on this and remind me. More of a reminder than anything else. I ought to know it, but sometimes I forget. The last at-bat I just had for Chris Spire was a range play to the third baseman, Doug Rader, that failed. It was a range play, and then it was a ground ball to third. So on a G5 failed range play, G5, I'm looking at the chart, G5 failed range play just says that it is, let's see here, G5 failed range play. Says number 5, but that doesn't jive with the chart. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at here. It's a single, right? This is not a case where I roll a 5 to look for a 5 or a 6 to make it a double. It's a straight out single. Is that correct? I'm not looking for a double or anything in this thing. I don't believe. At least I'm not. And for those that weren't with me earlier, I had about a 15-minute delay here with Xfinity/Comcast internet going down. I had to reboot. So I'm going to take it that it's a single to third. We don't check for the double. We're just going to leave Spire there. He does not have any attempt to steal. We will roll. Nothing on the strategy roll. Now, Jones is tired. He can face 25. This is batter 26. But they're going to leave him in there. Try to get him through the inning. 6-1's a blank. We go to Sadek. 5-6, ground ball back to Jones, and that's going to end the inning. 7 shutout innings for Randy Jones. He is solidly getting it done. Lavelle will come out and pitch again. He's going to lead off the next inning, so they just want him to get through the 7th inning, then they'll pinch hit for him. Padres will send up Champion, Winfield, and Hendrick, kind of the heart of the order, so to speak. But we are going to the bottom of the 7th, which is 7th inning stretch time. Don't really need a stretch because I already stretched going downstairs and working on the Xfinity box to get that to work. Now, wait a minute, Captain, you're telling me I should have rolled for a double. RJL's telling me it's a single. So it's a pound sign, okay? So you're telling me anything with a pound sign on this chart, when it has a pound sign next to it, that you're supposed to check. That's what this says over here because it's in the pink, right? Okay, so I really should have checked to see if it was a double or not. Not that it matters now. The inning's over. It would have been irrelevant one way or the other. But thank you for letting me know about that, Captain. I want to make sure I get it right. But in the meantime, it is 7th inning stretch time. Score, Padres 2, Giants nothing. And get ready for Take Me Out to the ball game. That's assuming my internet works enough to play this on my phone. Did my phone not get, did I lose internet on that too? Hold on, we got a delay on this now until I figure out what's going on with that. Oh, no wonder it has me connected to Xfinity. Why am I not connected to myself? I never connected to myself, apparently. Okay, now we're straight. I had to fix my computer, forgot to fix the phone. So, slight delay here. Here we go. All right, we are done with that. Thank you, Captain, for clarifying that once again. Again, I got to remember the color coding here. These things in pink tell me to come to this pink screen. These things in the gold tell me to go to the gold. What I was doing is looking at G5, number 5, and coming down here, and it says hit Boots ball, and that didn't make any sense at all. But I should have been over here, so I got to remember to do that. What happens when you play 3 games? You know the rules get a little mixed up here when you're going through 3 different games to try to figure out what the heck is going on. So hopefully now we can get that behind us and we can start the bottom of the 7th. Again, Lavelle is in to pitch. He's only faced 1 batter. He got Richards out. Actually, he faced 3 batters. He walked Almond, but then got Jones and Richards out. So he can face 7 batters, so he's good to go. Hello, Ernest. I am 60, so yeah, I feel like a pup next to you for sure. Lavelle, 3-5. That is a strikeout chance. 16, though, is going to be too high, so Champion will get to swing it. 1-5, and it is a star 4 ground ball to short. Spire makes the play, 1 away, and here's Winfield. 1 for 3. 1-2, strikeout 2. Got it. Boy, he's got the hat trick here. 3 strikeouts for Winfield. Not having a good day. Here's Hendrick, 1 for 3 with a double. RBI double. 3-1's a strikeout, but that's too high. Lavelle. 1-2, star 2, fly to right, and that's going to end the inning, and that will do it for Lavelle. Lavelle will go an inning and 2/3. Yeah, an inning and 2/3 for Lavelle. Is that right? No. No, Lavelle. No. Lavelle went an inning and a third, not an inning and 2/3. He got the out there. So inning and a third, no walks, no strikeouts, no hits, no runs. So he kept his team in the game. He will be pinch hit for as the pitcher spot is going to lead off the top of the 8th. And Jones is tired, so the question is, do you still leave him in there? He is pitching a shutout. So that's going to tend to have me leave him in there. Looking at the bench, we got 3 right-handers, Hill, Lemaster, and Rudolph as pinch hitters. You also have lefties, but that's why they're on the bench, because they're facing a lefty. So Mark Hill looks like he's going to come up pinch hit. He's a 250 hitter. So Mark Hill will be the pinch hitter for the Giants here in the 8th. 2-0 Padres, top of the 8th we go. Randy Jones is tired, so if he hits these parentheses, he's going to have to come out. And with that in mind, the Padres have the bullpen active. Let's see who they're looking at now. Giants, let's see. And it's going to be Butch Metzger in his Cardinal outfit. He's going to be loosening in the bullpen for the Padres. Butch Metzger. He was their closer in 76. All right, here is Jones to Hill. 3-5. That is a hit by pitch chance, but not going to happen. So we go to Hill. 6-6, fly to center, and that's 1 away. That'll bring it to the top of the order for Larry Herndon. He's 1 for 3. 1-3. Wild pitch is a ball, and we're going to call it a blank, actually, and move to Herndon. 5-4. That's a power result to right field. It goes up to 10, but that's a 13. So Winfield will track it down, out number 2, and they're trying to coax Jones for one more out, get him through those 8 innings, and then they could bring in Raleigh Fingers for the 9th. 4-4, and that is a walk chance to Andrews, a righty, but that's a 20, so he's not going to walk. He walks it in a 10 plus the 1's an 11, so the 20 is way out of line. Go to Andrews, 3-1, fly to center, and that's going to do it for Randy Jones. He will go 8 shutout innings. Metzger is set down. Raleigh Fingers is tossing, and he will be coming in to pitch the top of the 9th, rather. Unless the Padres get a big lead and it's no longer a save situation. Short of that, he will be coming in to pitch the 9th. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Tennis, Ivy, and Rader. And we'll get the totals on Randy Jones to see how he did. He went 8 innings, gave up no runs, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. So a 6-hit shutout through 8 innings. He walked 1, and he only struck out 1. So there you go. Great outing for Randy Jones. I won't write in Fingers yet, because if the Padres score a couple of runs, they'll use somebody else. They won't use. They will not be using Fingers if they have a big lead. But right now, Giants need a new pitcher. Down 2-0. They had to pinch hit for Lavelle. So they got Moffitt, Williams, and Curtis. Possibly can come in. And they'll go ahead and use Randy Moffitt. Why not? So Randy Moffett will be in to pitch to Tennis, Ivy, and Rader. Fourth pitcher used by the Giants, Randy Moffett. Gene Tennis is your batter. 2-4, and that is a strikeout plus. Got him. Good start for Moffett. One away for Mike Ivy. 6-2 is a blank. 1-4, ground ball to short. That's 2 away for Doug Rader. 6-3, that's a walk chance. 4 will walk him, so Doug Rader draws the walk. That'll bring up Allman. Strategy rolls are still on. Attempt of 3, but I'm not going to roll straight. He's not going to go anywhere. He's not going anywhere. So Moffett will just pitch it to Allman. 1-3, ballpark card going to San Diego Stadium for the bat of Allman. 1-2, it's a blank. We got a rare play. So rare play with a runner on base. Rare play, men on base. We get a 12. If less than 2 outs, grounder to second who flips to short for the pivot, but he is upended by the base runner, check for injury. Where there are not less than 2 outs, so since it does not apply, we will re-roll on the chart. 52. Center fielder dives after a sinking liner, resolve as an S8 range play, and then check for injury. So Larry Herndon is the center fielder. His range is a 5. So anything other than a 6, he'll make a nice catch. And he does at the end of the inning, but we're going to check for injury. He may have hurt himself on that catch. May very well have done so. So we go to the top of the 9th, but now we're going to check an injury for Larry Herndon. He may have to come out of this game. Herndon's injury rating is a 6, which means he's pretty much toast. Yeah, we don't have to check anything. He's out. He had such few at-bats. He's definitely out. So the Giants will need a new center fielder. So let's see who they go to in the outfield. Who is their best opportunity to be a center fielder? Gary Thomason is the best fielder. Daryl Thomas. I'm going to use Daryl Thomas as a center fielder. So Thomas will take over for Herndon in center field. He's a 3-2 and a 0. And he runs at a 4. So he will take over in center field. He will not bat for a while, obviously, but he will be the new center fielder. Now, bottom of the 9th, or top of the 9th time, and it's Raleigh Fingers time. Raleigh Fingers. Raleigh Fingers will try to let his fingers do the walking through the yellow pages of a victory. Fingers will be facing Madlock, Clark, and McCovey. So it's a heart of the order here. No cheap save here for Mr. Fingers. Fingers is actually set to lead off the bottom of the 9th, but if he doesn't get it, if they score 2 runs, they're going to pinch hit for him anyway. So there's no sense in a double switch in this situation. So Daryl Thomas is the new center fielder for the Giants. So Bill Madlock facing Raleigh Fingers. 6-4, strikeout 19 too high. We go to Madlock. 3-1, fly to center. 1 away. As Hendrick puts it away, here's Jack Clark. Fingers 4-1, ballpark card going to San Diego Stadium for the Jack Clark at bat. 3-3 is a star 6. It's a fly to center field again. So back-to-back fly balls to center field. Fingers is a fly ball pitcher. He's got 4 fly balls here and only 2 on the star line of ground balls. So primarily a fly ball pitcher. So it's up to McCovey to keep it going. 1-6, strikeout 15. Got him. There's your ball game. Raleigh Fingers strikes out Willie McCovey. And we have a nice tidy 2-0 ball game here in San Diego. Padres win it 2-0. Fingers goes 1 inning, gives up nothing, gets a strikeout. So 6 hits for the Giants. Moffitt went 1 inning, a walk and a strikeout, no runs, no hits. So it looks like 10 hits for the Padres. And I don't believe either team made an error. They did not. So final line score, 2 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for San Diego. No runs, 6 hits, no errors for San Francisco. Winning pitcher, Randy Jones. Losing pitcher is Lynn McGlothen. And Raleigh Fingers gets the save. No home runs in the game, but offensively, Mike Ivey was 3 for 4 with a run scored. But to me, the player of the game is Randy Jones. 8 shutout innings. That certainly has to count for something. So Randy Jones is your player of the game. Says I've been streaming for an hour and 25 minutes, but some of that was when it was, not working. So I'm going to, when I end the stream, I'm to go back and put it together. I may have to go into the editing portion and cut out that dead space. Usually I thought it does it on its own. Maybe it will. I don't know. But obviously I don't want to leave this out there with a big dead space in it. So we shall see what's going on. Tomorrow, it's back to Stratomatic. It'll be the Yankees and the White Sox from Comiskey. And speaking of Stratomatic, I did make, during this weekend when I had a few minutes, I'm experimenting with team sheets that hopefully are going to help me in inputting the spread, the score sheets each day, so I won't take quite as long having to look up all the ratings and whatnot. So I did this I just did it for 2 teams, the Orioles and the Twins, just to see how it's going to work. So this is what the sheets look like right here. And basically, I used the snippet tool, and I got the balk, wild pitch, and hold ratings for the pitchers. And then I got all the defensive ratings for all the position players. So I have the pass ball ratings for the catchers and stuff like that that I usually have to look up all the time on the computer. So I'm hoping, and I've also got the ballpark effects. Same thing. I did the exact same thing with Minnesota because they play a future game against each other. So I want to see how it goes. But I'm hoping that will help me speed up play and speed up when I fill in the score sheets each day. So we're going to see how that plays out. Like I said, hopefully it will help in what's going on. But that's just a little side note. If it helps me out, I'll make one for every team. But I want to try with these 2 and see if it's worth the effort or not. At first, I was going to do an Excel spreadsheet and type in all this stuff. I was like, why do that when I can just do a snippet? Saves me a lot of trouble. So I'm going to try that, see what happens. But again, the next game on the Stratomatic portion of the events is going to be Chicago and New York. From Comiskey, it'll be Floyd Bannister for the White Sox and Rick Rhoden for the Yankees. So appreciate you sticking with me through this Comcast/Xfinity snafu on the internet, and me having to deal with all of that. Even upset Tabby that happened. Tabby was going to come up here, and then I had to go downstairs and fix the internet, and then she got mad and went back downstairs. So that's just how it works out. But that's the way it is. Sometimes you don't get everything you want. So like the great Rolling Stones said, you don't always get what you want, but you always get what you need. So we finished out and we got what we needed. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Robert, wonderful. Hope you had a wonderful birthday today. Hope you got some good presents. And besides the Florida Panthers winning as the greatest present there was for you, but hopefully you got some other good presents. Maybe you get a new game or new season for something. I don't know. Anything, whatever it is that you are interested in. But anyway, yes, Captain, have a great rest of your evening for everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and get this loaded up, and I might have to do some editing, but I'll figure that out later. But for now, we say good night, and as usual, hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.